All
Okay.
right.
All right, cool.
Well,
Good to
ladies
go.
and gentlemen, we have Kevin Caswell back with us today. Kevin, how are you doing today, sir?
Hey
Glad
man, doing good, doing good.
to hear that.
Yeah,
Good
no, it's a
deal.
good time to connect again.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Man, I just got to say it was so cool seeing you at the Stitch Down Patina Thunderdome, or sorry, at the Stitch Down boot camp. That was
Yeah. No, gonna be back this year in October. So hoping to do something a little bit different. I think they picked the best location for it. It's a really nice floor layout, stuff like that. So hopefully
yeah,
there'll be a lot more brands there this year.
yeah, definitely, definitely. And I was really impressed with your stand. And you had those cat's paw heels on display, and you had all the cool samples going on. And you were unique in a lot of ways, but in the one way that I really appreciated was you had samples for people to fit to know what size they would be in your brand. That was really awesome too. They were what were those? Were they canvas samples or what were they?
Yeah, so it's just a basic natural like local leather.
Okay.
So pretty much what I did was for the initial last made for the hand welted line, I just basically had a right pair of each boot made in each size from 7 to 14. And
Okay.
so, the goal is to plan to do that for all of the last on the hand welted line, just in a D width, because ideally, if we can fit the D width, since it's the Porter Last, has a decent amount of volume in the toe box. So if we could
Yeah.
fit it there, we'll just need to figure out the width sizing.
Okay.
So yeah, but a lot of different changes coming this year. Different things I've kind of played with to try and see what makes the most sense for ready to wear and custom builds. So kind
Okay.
of working through that at the moment.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, man, you're just like I said in the last time we got together, you're just knocking them out of the park, and really impressed with what you've been doing, especially with the Galloon stuff. I really love your runs through Galloon Tannery. But I know we have just a limited amount of time today. I know I normally like to go for 4 hours, but
Yeah, it'll be rough today.
yeah. But you do have some announcements you wanted to get to. So let's sort of parse through that first and then we could dive into some other stuff. But so you have a sneaker line in the works right now, right?
Well, the sneaker line's already released.
Oh, that's right.
So the one main thing wanted to kind of cover is so I have a new essentials line that's coming out. And
Okay.
essentially, the goal with that is to add in a kind of base to the line. I'm sorry, kind of base to the brand. Previously, what we've done is do a lot of the custom work, and then even with the ready to wear line, the leathers are very specific. They're not really the leathers that you'll see in building out like a standard. Most brands will run a standard ready to wear line. They'll have like local leathers. They'll have a lot of the standard leathers from like one single tannery.
Mhm.
And generally, what we do is we run it from almost everywhere. Like most brands aren't going to run like Wicked and Craig in the same vein. Run Merriam or run Badalassi all in one brand. So while we've done that with the ready to wear, it's not necessarily the most effective in building complete lines.
Mhm.
So what we want to do is have the core essentials line, which is going to basically focus on simpler leathers like SB Foot. A lot of brands kind of run that and kind of build out their inventory with that. So running that, and then also a lot of local leathers as well. And then there's a couple other different options, tanneries abroad that we're going to try and work out with and see what we can kind of do. So it's going to be like simple veg tan leathers, a lot of different combination tan leathers from SB Foot as well, and then kind of anything that I can find that makes sense for the line, because the goal of this line is that most of the offerings are going to be at sub $300. So
Okay.
yeah, it's rough to do,
Yeah.
but like literally everything has to be thought through, from the shipping of the leather to the boxes that you use to the outsoles that you use, the internal build materials, and then all of your sampling. All of that comes into the costing kind of aspect of it, and so you kind of have to just make sure that you're not going over anything, and keep it very in line in order to be able to offer that. So.
That makes a lot of sense. And that is brilliant because a lot of your offerings, I would say so far, I love them all, but they are like sort of exotics, whereas
Right, right.
Yeah, when you look at Grantstone, when they started, it was just like, man, it was pretty basic. It was like Crimson Chrome Excel Diesel and
Right.
Chrome Excel Diesel and Black Chrome Excel Diesel, and that was it. Like that was like it. And then they slowly introduced their Ottawa boot, and then just now they've sort of blossomed into the exotics. But you sort of hit the ground running with the exotics, which I applaud because I, for one,
Right.
love exotics.
I had to do that. I had to do it that way because, especially when you start off like a smaller brand, the marketing dollars aren't there. So if you have a limited amount of capital, you can either go and invest in like marketing,
Mhm.
or you can pour that directly back into inventory. And so I kind of use that as a marketing aspect in trying to draw people in, to by saying, hey, we run pretty much from every tannery in the world. You can get it all in one place. And so
Right.
it's not the most cost effective. It's not the most cost effective and effective to scale.
Mhm.
Scaling, you would need to run a lot of scaling basically comes from running a lot of the same. So you'll see a lot of brands, they'll run either Chrome Excel, or they'll run a couple veg tan, local leathers, and they'll do that at a larger scale in order volume, because they're able to do that because it's all the same. It just makes sense. But when you're running like obscure leather that you get from Merriam, or
Yeah.
some, like even I bought some veg tan goat leather that's actually bookbinding leather. I just lined it very heavily, and that's how I was able to run it in a boot. But that's not really effective to scale. So there's pros and cons to both.
Yeah, absolutely. And that is what I love about this industry is I mean there's literally endless amounts of avenues that you could take your approach in. That is what I love, the personalization, customization that you can sort of choose along the way. But yeah, I do think doing a core line is pretty
Yeah.
smart. Make like a flagship model and like
Right.
keep that as like your entry point. Like if you're gonna buy one pair of Caswells, buy this one. This is like the start,
Right.
the gateway, and then if you want to dive into the exotics later, then that's a good it's a good introduction at least to get your fit dialed in and get an understanding of the last and all that stuff too. So yeah, that's super cool, man. And yeah, I was looking at your sneakers just now too. Yeah, waxed flesh sneakers. Oh man.
Yeah, yeah, launched
Dude.
those. Yeah, launched those earlier in the. I want to say a couple months ago, barely a couple months ago,
Okay.
and just trying to take more risks with the brand as far as expanding into different offerings that are not just solely boots.
Mm.
So as you'll see, like introduced to sneakers. So launched the sneaker line. What's funny is I did several production runs through Horween for Wax Flesh,
Oh,
and yeah, that's where I had a whole bunch of extra leather from that. I actually have still more natural wax flesh. Trying to figure out what I want to do with it, but
okay.
yeah, it's really thick. It's like 5 to 6 ounces, and as I was thinking, trying to figure out what leather I wanted to run in the sneakers, that just made sense at the moment. So I figured it's something that could be rugged, that could be worn in over time, and it wears in really nice, especially the tan wax flesh. So I wear that on the regular. That one wears in really nicely. So I'm hoping to see more photos of them as people are kind of wearing them more, and they wear in a bit more. So
Definitely.
yeah, it's a standard boot leather, 5 to 6 ounce in the uppers.
Wow.
So it's pretty thick, but it breaks in really nice.
That's going to be one hell of a sneaker then, because yeah, that's not going to be for the faint of heart.
Yeah, no, no, trust me, it's pretty thick.
I gotta say, since I started working with different leathers, I have some wax flesh that I bought from OA Leather Supply, and
Yeah,
I can actually
they're
grab.
good.
Yeah, it is, man, it is awesome.
Yeah, good.
I got some cinnamon here, and man, this stuff. So, for those that are still mystified by wax flesh, like me, I'm still kind of mystified by it because, well, I don't work at Horway and I don't know all the secrets,
Yeah,
but it is for all intents and purposes Chrome Excel. Like
yeah,
it smells just like Chrome Excel when it's fresh out of the box. So exact, I think liquors and tallows and waxes added to it, exact tanning process, I think. But what they do is instead of applying the pigment to the smooth side, they apply it to the rough side. So
right, yeah,
Yeah, so they really smooth it down though. So it's not like a rough out at first, but as you can see when I flip it to the other side, this side isn't pigmented, but this is
Yeah,
the smooth side.
extra. Yeah,
So this is the side that you normally call Chrome Excel. Like you
yeah,
dye this side and call it Chrome Excel, but instead they just flip it around and then they call it Wax
yeah.
Flesh. So I hope that was concise because I'm still learning stuff every day. And the other thing is I'm unlearning things and relearning them
Yeah,
because
no, every day. Yeah.
so much.
That applies to me as well, man. Always, there's always something where I'm like, it makes sense, and then like you learn a better way to do it more effective,
Yeah,
especially in.
yeah, definitely, definitely. So is there anything else in the works aside from?
Yeah. So I actually bought. I have a sample.
Oh
So
yeah,
this is. I was trying to show this yesterday. So this is the Arlington Derby, right here.
wow.
So this is in, yeah, SB foot ebb tie nutmeg. It's actually a really really beautiful leather.
Ooh,
Let's see. Kind of ran it pretty straightforward, 5 eyelets. Standard kind of pattern.
mhm.
Nothing too crazy. Very very simplistic. And then ran it with a dark edge and then a rubber outsole.
Okay,
So something that can kind of blend for more casual wear, but you
yes.
can kind of make it a little bit formal. As you can see, this is actually our Morris last, which we use in the hand welted line. I had this customized and made to fit D in most e-whips. This is
Okay,
one of my more favorite lasts in this model for derbies. This is one of the kind of core flagship models that will be running in a couple different leathers. A lot of different
okay,
brands do derbies, and so kind of wanted to add that into the mix and then run that in a couple different options. So I ran it in one of these SB foot leathers. I'm going to run it in a couple different burgundy to light brown veg tan leathers, and
ooh, nice.
then we may mix in some more SB foot in the.
Okay, very good. I just got to say, there is nothing as classic as a plain toe derby, and I really like the eyelet facings on those. Those aren't like standard eyelet facings, are they? Is there something unique about the eyelet facings? They kind of
No,
float.
just the antique brass.
Okay,
Yeah, basically for these, I originally had four,
okay,
but for derbies, there's some heel slip often, so sometimes you have to like size down a half size. But I
yeah,
added an extra eyelet just to give you more of that, support to kind of make sure that the fit is locked.
yeah.
So
And I
yeah.
really like the pattern on it too, that cross cut across the quarter area midway
Yeah,
through.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
actually
So
yeah, we actually changed that up due to the so when I was trying it on due to the fit.
okay,
So when I was working with the factory, it just made they recommended I actually change up the dimensions on the quarter design, and then we
okay.
added the eyelet, and then that made the fit a little bit more better. So
Okay, very nice, man. That's a sharp looking derby. Yeah.
yeah,
What I love about derbies is you could wear them with shorts. A lot of guys thinking, oh, wearing shorts, I got to wear sneakers with shorts. It's not true.
yeah.
My go-to in the summer is shorts and derbies. Like that's when my derbies get all their wear because
It's pretty versatile. You can wear it with, you can mix and match it up, and especially if it's in the right leather.
yeah,
I always wanted to. Well, I went with the darker leather this first go round, so it's a little bit more versatile. But with derbies, as you said, like you can wear it with shorts. You can kind of mix it up, wear it more formally, more casually. So it's
yeah,
really an everyday kind of shoe.
absolutely. I wear my derbies with suits too. So I'll take them, I'll throw them on with my shorts, and the next day throw them on with like a linen. If it's summer, it's
Yeah.
hot out. I'll do no show socks, and then I'll do like one of my linen suits or something like that, or one of my cotton suits, and it looks just as sharp as
Yeah, it
all.
works.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And you could do it obviously with denim and chinos and all that stuff too.
Yeah, no, it works perfectly. Yeah, I've been wearing these, testing them out, and yeah, you can pretty much mix and match it however you want.
Right, definitely. Yeah, so I got to ask, so you're doing all this work behind the scenes, all these projects.
Yeah,
Do you ever sleep?
yeah, no, have to. Yeah, no, I have to. Most of my day is actually spent like looking up new leather
Oh,
that, it's like something out there out of the ordinary.
yeah.
I'm always trying to find something different that most people aren't running, and so when we first ran the gallon balloon leather, started with that, and then the Tursting and Bust. I want to mix this up, but the goat leathers that we run as well. So found that and then basically just trying to run a lot more wild game leathers as well.
Okay.
So we have some of the elk coming from Stead,
Okay.
and yeah, I bought up a decent amount of their bronze, and there was also another elk. I can't recall. I bought it a couple months ago.
Yeah.
In addition to running a lot of the newer leathers like Cypress, so have that in the works, and then diving back into some double shot leather from Seidel,
Okay.
along with also running. I'm drawing a blank. I was actually trying to run some leather from Billy Tannery. So
Oh, I
they
have.
actually, yeah, so they actually do goat leather,
Okay.
but yeah, goat leather, but they actually need the leather for a lot of their different products. So that may be for a future, something in the future. But for right now, got another custom, have a custom horse butt in the works with Ed as well. So going to mix that up, and then also running some different additional leathers from Horween that haven't necessarily been seen in boots. So
Okay.
got a good different plethora of leathers coming.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm looking up Billy Tannery now. Yeah, they run a lot of goat leathers. They actually
Yeah,
offer roll top backpacks similar to the one that I make. And wow,
it's
880.
tough to get that leather though. I won't
Yeah.
lie. It's not easy because actually was we're gonna run a sample. I think Tickers, is it Tickers or Trickers?
Oh yeah,
It's
Tricker.
Trickers, yeah.
Yeah.
So they a lot of the UK brands actually run leather from Billy Tannery. They
Mhm.
do their collaborations, and the leather looks really nice. So I'm hoping that I can run it in the future.
Yeah.
So not right now, but hoping that I can run it in the future when it becomes available. So
Gotcha. Very good. Yeah, they have some cool looking colors too. I'm looking at
yeah,
it.
yeah, they do. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a if you look online, I think Trickers they did a collaboration in a burgundy or cognac goat. It
Okay.
looks really nice. Yeah, looks really really nice.
Interesting. Yeah, let me see if I
Yeah,
can.
I actually met them at the I went to the shoe championships per se in
Okay.
London last year, and that's
Okay.
how I connected with them. And basically, just said, "Hey, love to run the leather. So whenever you have some available, okay, I can get it in a line or something." So
Right, right. Wow. Dang. Well, I just discovered my twin. I didn't know he existed,
yeah,
but he's got what? This is weird. He's got a leather apron, and then he also has this, I don't know if it's coming through on the screen, but a roll top backpack similar to the one.
yeah, I can see it. Yeah, they're leather workers. Yeah, yeah, they do really good stuff.
Okay.
All across the UK. So
Interesting. Wow. Well, see, and this is where I've gotten into this discussion recently. It's like, what constitutes a knockoff, right? Like, because it's almost inevitable to recreate things even by mistake. If you're just sitting down and making something for the first time and you say, okay, what's the best leather? What's the best design? And you put it all
yeah.
together, chances are somebody already did that. And the
Oh
more
yeah,
you, yeah, and so it's inevitable. That's why nobody has dominion over the mock toe or the plain toe or the
yeah, or the service boot, really. It's,
yeah,
it's yeah,
yeah, it's or any sort of last, like if you do it long enough, you will overlap with what others have already done. It's
right,
there's no way to avoid.
right. No, no, I agree. Yeah,
Yeah,
even in patterning, like, there's only so many ways you can make a service boot, or so many ways you can make a mock toe, or like even like a lot of the patterns and designs that you see today, those are all reproductions in some way, shape, or form from older patterns from 1920s and 30s Sears catalogs. For the
right,
most part, they're just they're
right.
just modifications and tweaks to either the backstay, or they may run new higher improved outsoles, but a lot of the patterns are, it's crazy. You'll see from like the war times through
Yeah.
the early days through today, they're the
Hmm.
same patterns, like, that same quarter design, that same what is it called, anatomical
Oh yeah.
anatomical kind of that same fitting in the toe box.
Yep.
Those are all kind of elements of patterns in the past or last and makeups from the past. So
Yeah. Yeah. This is a
clearly they work well since they've lasted this long, you know?
right, exactly. This is a World War II era tanker boot that I procured from a vintage military resell website. And
Oh, okay, that's cool.
yeah, as you can see, I mean, look at the perforations in the cap toe, right?
Yeah,
This is built on the original Munson last, pretty
yeah,
distinct
you can
feet at
tell.
the bottom. But yeah, the patterning, I mean, look at that.
Yeah,
Nothing's new, really. I mean,
yeah. Yeah, a lot of patterns still use the same similar design
yeah,
across multiple different brands. You can just tell then like the backstay and the heel counter design,
right.
very similar.
Right, definitely. This is also a pair of tanker boots. The
Yeah,
pair that I have are more officer cavalry boots, and these are more proper tanker boots.
yeah, the strap design, yeah, all of that has been elements of the past.
Right, exactly, exactly. So yeah, yeah. I mean, the more you do this, the more it's just inevitable. There's going to be overlap. I see a lot of discussions like on Stitch Down Discord and stuff. Oh, these people are copying these people. It's like, man, at a certain level, like
Yeah.
there's no way around it. These are
Yeah, I
shoes.
can literally find any like I can literally go back
Yeah.
60 years, 70 years. You can
Yeah.
find any pattern that's run today that
Yep.
it's already been run. Like it's not,
Right.
any single pattern, no matter what the brand is, you can
Yeah.
find that pattern, if you go back long enough, you'll find it.
Right, definitely. And it's not like in the footwear industry, they're necessarily innovation driven.
Yeah,
It's not like tech. It's not like AI or anything like that that's
right.
constantly innovating or the internet. Shoes are almost by their nature, I mean, at least the heritage lines that we're interested in, by their
Yeah,
nature, they're meant to kind of stay the same, actually, not change.
exactly. Exactly. The foot doesn't change. Like the foot
Right.
has like you don't grow new bones, you don't grow extra toe. So like
Exactly.
it's gonna stay relatively the
Yeah.
same. You may use a different leather.
Right.
But I mean, there's only so many ways you can make a last before it's not comfortable. There's only so many
Right.
ways you can change up the pattern before it just doesn't fit to the last. Like it's very defined. There's only so much you can do. So
Right, absolutely. And that's actually what I like about it is as much variation as you can get into. I like that we're sort of honoring tradition, not so much changing things. That's why I'm more
yeah,
into the heritage line boots myself is because, they go back through history. You can find pictures of like old, military troops wearing this stuff and that's what I
yeah,
that's
yeah.
what I
You can. And they wore leather outsoles most of the time.
Mhm.
Like I don't know how they were doing it,
I know.
but minimal cork, leather outsoles.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah. It's wild, man. I know their
Yeah.
feet were just not happy.
Right, right.
Could you
Well,
imagine going to war in that, man? Like, be rough.
actually, actually, I can. Like, is this good for like hiking up a mountain? No, but
Yeah,
the support that you'd get from it and the breathability of the leather sole, it
yeah.
would definitely prevent like certain like jungle rot, for example. I think was probably mostly caused by all that rubber. And I know to fight that they put like those weird like vents, like little vents on the side,
Yeah, yeah,
but those don't do anything. So,
yeah. I think it's the humidity, the moisture getting inside of the boot,
yeah.
and without breathability, it leads to infection. Yeah,
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely not good. And so yeah, like me personally, like I always talk up the advantages of the leather sole. I think it
yeah,
is very supportive. But yeah, would I want to hike up a mountain in these? Absolutely not. You'd be slipping and sliding everywhere.
yeah, yeah. It's rough, and even like when leather outsoles get wet too,
Hmm.
they can be a little slippery. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
definitely, definitely. This is the pair I wore for the Stitch Down Patina Thunderdome, and they were on a leather sole, and they haven't worn down even a bit. I wasn't wearing them super hard, but
yeah.
I mean, I got some wear down on the toe. The toe has lost some.
That's a pretty thick midsole.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
yeah,
you can. It almost looks like a double midsole.
yeah. It is. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
it is okay. All right.
Or actually, no, it's not a double.
It's probably just it's probably just really really thick. You can tell
Yeah,
that thing's thick. Yeah,
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 it's super thick. I'll be releasing a video soon on these. But yeah, I think this is the Black Forest. This is all German material, so I think this is the Black Forest
yeah,
veg tan. Similar to what was that company? JR. Yeah.
yeah. The Rendenbach, yeah,
Yes, yes.
yeah.
That
They're running pretty thick.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And super, super durable. Yeah, actually I have some. Oh, yeah, there we go. Yeah, that stuff is
Yeah,
that's a it's too bad they went out of business, but yeah, I think they handed off their model, their production too. I think they're called Black Forest.
yeah, I believe so. And there's still some like a lot of my my older Voss shoes and boots still they use that JR midsole.
Okay.
Yeah, JR outsole, and it's super thick.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, it's super thick. It takes a while to break that stuff in.
Right. And it's also very strong. I think that's the other advantage to
Oh
it.
yeah.
Yeah, because I love my Grant Stones, but some of the outsoles on the Grant Stones, I think it does wear down a little quicker. I'm not sure where they get the veg tan. But yeah, I think the JR is probably some of the most superior veg tan outsole leathers.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, and Herman Oak makes a good one too. That's what I make my thick insoles out of.
Yeah, Herman Oak's good.
Yeah, yeah, they're almost too thick though. So
Yeah, no, they make some thick stuff. Wicked and Craig does too.
yeah,
Yeah, they make some
that's
really really thick leather as well.
yeah,
They're good as well.
absolutely. Yeah, I have some Wicket and Craig Latigo that's just awesome. I use that for my midsoles, and oh man, it's amazing. It's so waxy and luxurious. So the Herman
Uh,
Oak is definitely skirting leather. It's definitely meant for like saddles and stuff.
yeah, you can tell. I actually I ran some Herman Oak and some belts.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really has some really really nice belt leather as well. They do.
Yeah,
I actually like it over Wicked and Craig for belts. So
I can see that.
I definitely recommend trying it out for a whole bunch of different applications
Yeah.
outside of just belts, but a lot of your leatherwork stuff.
Okay, yeah, maybe actually that's a good idea. Maybe I'll try making myself a belt out of it. Because yeah, there's belts are so hard because like
Yeah.
I buy belt blanks and sometimes they're really good like this one from I can never remember the name of the where I get this from. I'll look it up. But yeah, like I bought this as a belt blank and man, this is I got this from
Hotel?
Maverick Leather. Yeah, it's just so thin and flimsy. Like I wouldn't want to sell that to anybody. Like
Yeah. Well,
it's
most is it Chrome XL or what is it?
this is I'm actually not sure. It's from I think this is Wicket and Craig.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some leathers you can only get, but so I mean, some leathers are only gonna be but so thick.
Yeah.
Uh, you know, based on the type of leather,
Yeah.
unfortunately. Because like even like with Chrome XL belts, they're nice, but they're
Hmm.
not gonna have the same thickness as like a lot of the leathers that I run from like Wicked and Craig or Herman Oak
Yeah.
for the belt. So, but it's just the nature of the beast with the leather.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. This stuff is or it's basically 8 ounces. This
Yeah, not enough, but it's enough, but it's not enough,
yeah.
you know.
It's definitely too flimsy, whereas this thing is 13 and a half. So
Yeah, that's a proper weight.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'll look up where I got this from because yeah, I've been meaning to feature them on my channel and they've only come up a time or two. They're a specific tannery. They run a really small. They're on Instagram too.
Yeah, I've been buying from I buy a good amount of leather from Rocky Mountain, and their
Yes.
prices, man, are wild. Like
Yeah.
they're rough. They're rough to do, but they got the best stuff.
Right. Oh, I got it. I got it. Okay. Carmine Jack.
Oh
Car
yeah, yeah. I bought a lot. So if you're in the US, you can only buy from distributors.
Uh-huh.
Um so
Yeah.
luckily I'm Carmine Jack, they're a really good Baker's distributor. But
Oh,
I ran their leather in one of the boots that I ran at the boot camp in the Baker's leather. It's a bit pricey for the leather,
yeah.
but it makes for a nice boot. So
Right.
yeah, Carpet Jack, yeah, they do some really, really nice stuff.
Yes.
They do belts, they do whole bunch of different hides that you can run in boots or or any other accessories if you do leather goods, stuff like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, so it's a little on the pricier end, but it's nice stuff. It's worth the cost. It's just you just got to know that it's gonna cost you.
right,
So
absolutely. There's a man
yeah,
after my own heart right there.
yeah,
I saw that. I'm like, I won't lie, I've done this myself. I wouldn't post myself doing it,
yeah. I
but
wouldn't post myself doing it. Yeah, I've done some dumb stuff with leather, but
right, absolutely. Well, man, this has been a great talk. Thank you for all the
yeah,
updates. I'm really excited to see where you go next. I think it's so cool that you persisted. You're keeping this going. You're keeping the energy going, and it's really good to see. And I really hope to see you again at the next boot camp.
yeah, it will be there.
Yeah, I'm definitely planning on being there too. Anybody tuning in, you should all go. It's a good way to really form like a cohesion amongst the community.
Right.
And it's something to look forward to, and you meet people and form bonds, and you get to interact with them in a way that you can never interact on the internet.
Yeah.
And yeah, to actually meet these guys that are making boots and talk to them and look at what they have on display and everything, and you get a good understanding of like what's coming down the line. And yeah,
Yeah.
it's a really, I think it's a really healthy thing for the community to have. So big thanks to Ben at Stitch Down for doing all that legwork, because I can't imagine the amount of work.
It's a lot, and the general admission this year is actually it's actually free for the general admission.
Oh,
So
really?
yeah, yeah. So I think his goal was to add in more than just the sit down community to the event. So there was a good amount of people who aren't in the sit down community per se,
Yeah.
but I think he wants to like double or triple that. So
Wow.
he made the general admission free this year. So there should be a lot of different vendors offering some cool makeups and then doing sizing and stuff like that.
Oh,
And yeah, it should be a good time.
very good. Well, I'm looking forward to it, my friend.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I know you got a 9 o'clock, so I won't keep you any longer. Great catching up with you, brother, and I wish you all the best moving forward. And I'll shoot you the link to this soon as it's posted. So,
All right, man. Always a pleasure.
all right, brother. Likewise, you have a great day. I'll talk to you later.
All right.
All right. Bye.